All right, we are going back to African philosophy and we are going to talk about a very crucial and controversial topic on the preliminary issues of African philosophy. And the very first thing I would like us to talk about is ethnophilosophy. A question can be set on ethnophilosophy like this: can ethnophilosophy be regarded as a true philosophy? Or is ethnophilosophy philosophical? Is ethnophilosophy philosophical? There have been a serious argument concerning the issue of ethnophilosophy. Some philosophers say ethnophilosophy is actually philosophical, while some other philosophers say it is not philosophical. You cannot call it a philosophy. Ethnophilosophy can be defined as the view that the culture and beliefs of a people constitute their philosophy. And this ethnophilosophy, we have arguments in support of ethnophilosophy and arguments against ethnophilosophy. I don't want to take you to so many arguments. I'm going to limit you people just on one argument for and one argument against ethnophilosophy. The first argument in support of ethnophilosophy is based on the view that philosophy is found in culture. Now, it means that philosophy can be one of the elements of philosophy in Africa, or one of the manifestation of philosophy in Africa is culture. This view was put forth by Placid Temples. Placid Temples studied the Bantu people and wrote a book called the Bantu Philosophy. And after studying the culture, the myths, the belief of the people of the Bantu ethnic group, he came up with a conclusion that philosophy is found in culture and beliefs. So if philosophy is found in the culture and beliefs, it means that ethnophilosophy is philosophical. On the other hand, there are some philosophers, or there are other arguments that ethnophilosophy is not philosophical. I'm going to give you one point. Ethnophilosophy is not philosophical because it lacks the characteristics of a true philosophy. Two characteristics of true philosophy or a real philosophy is philosophy must be critical and philosophy must be universalist. Philosophy must be argumentative. Critical means it must not be biased. It must be two-sided. It must be dialectical. It must be something that looks at things, the pros and the cons. And that is not how ethnophilosophy is. Ethnophilosophy is not critical. Ethnophilosophy, cultures, myths, all those things are components of ethnophilosophy. If you look at them, they don't have the basis of critical nature, which is philosophy. And they don't have the basis of universality. So, according to Kwasi Wiredu, philosophy in Africa, which is ethnophilosophy, should not be considered as philosophy because it doesn't have that critical approach. So, philosophy must carry the critical approach just as that of the West. Pauline Otonji says, you cannot take a set of myths, beliefs, language, and call it a philosophy. Philosophy must pass. Philosophy must go beyond myths, dogmas, parables, proverbs, riddles. So ethnophilosophy is not philosophy. It's not a true philosophy. To synthesize this argument, you are going to talk about the fact that ethnophilosophy has some element of philosophy, but on the other hand, it lacks some certain elements of philosophy. So it is a partial philosophy. It's not complete. So it is not a complete philosophy. And in our conclusion, we should conclude by saying that ethnophilosophy is a philosophy.